Granny told me how to survive. Lying there on the asphalt of the St. Agnes School auditorium, there she was, wrapping the tourniquet around my leg. "Be brave, Aqua Boy," she said, the yellow full moon behind her head, the stink of her breath from her rotted teeth. "Don't ever let them see you afraid," she said. "Try to think of something good. Something good. Oh, Granny, something good to help me survive." My memory of my father. Something good. I was 7, maybe 8 years old. Bruno woke me before dawn to go fishing one Saturday morning, dark and cold in the house. He made me wear my heavy fall jacket though it was spring, and I knew I wouldn't need it once the sun came up. The two of us, me and Bruno, safe in his old orange station wagon. Bruno let me sip from his styrofoam coffee cup, and he called me pal like he could when we were having a good time together. "Gonna catch us some little bastards, pal, and eat them all up, what do you say?" Bruno didn't wait for an answer. He shifted the car out of first, and we backed out of the driveway and did the U-turn and the dead-end turnaround. We left our house there at the dead end of Diana Drive and on up past the street, past the Hauptmann's house and the Goldfarbs, and turned the station wagon out onto Elizabeth Street. We drove the length of the swamp and the reservoir through the early morning streets of my hometown, Kent, New Jersey, headed towards the turnpike. And we drove for a long time through that pre-dawn, past warehouses and gas stations, Bruno sipping coffee from the styrofoam cup, smoking away on a Pall Mall. He turned on the AM radio, and we could get scratchy, static Motown and some rock and roll on the AM. Past little towns whose claim to fame was Washington slept in an old inn there before the Revolutionary War. Past bigger and bigger towns that started to blend into one long, unbroken stretch of town, and you didn't know where one ended and the next one began except for the signs. Finally, after a long time, past Linden and Bayway was the giant refinery near Newark Airport, and from there you can go north towards New York City, or where we were going, towards Staten Island. The dark morning got lighter and further north we went, first just from black to blue, but near the refinery, real dawn light was happening, lighter and lighter with each minute. The radio started Steve Miller, me and Bruno singing along to ourselves, "Gonna fly like an eagle to the sea." The sun came up for real just as we drove across the big bridge from Jersey to Staten Island. "Goffel's Bridge," Bruno said, and he laughed, his first real words in over an hour. "We call it the Guinea Gangplank. It's the way all us Guineas made it over to Jersey from Staten Island." He laughed. He laughed in that sunrise, pink and peach and yellow shining up onto the Guinea Gangplank, and Bruno just rolling along, one hand on the wheel, the other lighting a Pall Mall with a Zippo lighter. "You see, pal, you see how sometimes the world can look too good? Even here, that damn refinery blowing smoke up all the time. Even here, it's a goddamn pretty sunrise." Me and Bruno, two birds flying to the sea. The pretty sunrise, a perfect moment. Before then, I didn't even know you could have moments like that in the real waking world. The orange station wagon, Bruno in the Pall Mall, the smoke drifting through pink layers in the car, the tire bumping across metal grates of the bridge, out past the thick gray steel, the sun on the fog under the bridge, pink and soft and pink. Then the moment was gone. Time slipping into the future. We were across the bridge. Some morning traffic now, the early workers on Staten Island. An old red rusted 60 Chevy cut off the station wagon at the entrance to the piers. I expected Bruno to yell, like he always yelled when he was driving, calling whoever it was a dumb Polak or a Jew, no matter what they looked like or nationality where they were. But that morning, that perfect morning, Bruno didn't say a word. He just reached out and clicked off the radio. He was smiling from under his beard, and he was sitting forward, leaning into the wheel, squinting out the windshield from behind his thick glasses. By the time we got to the parking lot, parked and set up our fishing poles, you could see the Guinea Gangplank rise up gray from the morning fog. The pink's all yellow now, real light, real sunlight above the bridge and the fog. Bruno rubbed his eyes and his black beard, the streaks of gray starting at his chin and in his mustache, the long beard hiding the old scar from where Mother tried to slit his throat. He smoked another Pall Mall and drank coffee, pushed his glasses back up his nose, and didn't say hardly anything once the poles were set up and in the water. Our folding chairs were laid out, and our cooler with Bruno's beers, sodas for me, Spam sandwiches with mustard and cans of sardines, the heavy smell of Bruno's Pall Malls, unfiltered, the smell of tobacco like a medicine, a language that means, this is my father. This is how men sit and watch the water. This is how men think. But when